White Tiger.
Yeah! I love this job!
Real name, Ava Ayala.
Accessing origin.
It looks like Marvel Studios might be quietly setting up one of their next breakout heroes, the White Tiger, to have his own solo MCU project after his appearance in Daredevil Born Again Season 2. It's one of those rumors that makes a lot of sense when you look closely at how Marvel's been building its new street-level roster, especially since the show is reintroducing Matt Murdock, Wilson Fisk, and the gritty side of New York. But before we talk about what that solo project could look like, let's back up and look at how the White Tiger legacy has evolved in the comics and how Born Again is shaping the character's MCU future. For starters, the White Tiger mantle has one of the richest and most emotional backstories in Marvel Comics. It's been passed down through generations, usually from one family member to another. The first White Tiger, Hector Ayala, became Marvel's first Latino superhero back in the 1970s, which was a huge deal at the time. His story was grounded, tragic, and inspiring all at once, the kind that fits perfectly with Marvel's street-level storytelling. And when Daredevil Born Again brought him into live action, fans instantly started theorizing that this wasn't going to be a one-and-done appearance. In Season 1 of Born Again, Hector Ayala was played by the late Camar de los Reyes, and his performance struck a chord with audiences. His version of White Tiger was more of a vigilante who tried to do the right thing in a city drowning in corruption. The tragedy of his story hit hard, because just when it seemed like Hector might finally clear his name and stand as a hero, he was killed. But even though his death was shocking, it didn't feel like the end, and that's because Marvel has been planting seeds for his legacy to continue through his niece, Angela del Toro. Angela's introduction in Daredevil Born Again Season 1 wasn't subtle. She arrived with emotional weight, anger, and a strong sense of justice. Her uncle's story inspired her, even if it also broke her heart. And now, with set photos from Season 2 showing actress Camila Rodriguez wearing the White Tiger suit, it's pretty clear that Marvel Studios isn't just testing the waters, they're officially bringing the next White Tiger into the MCU spotlight. The interesting part about Angela is that she isn't just a random successor. In the comics, she's one of the most significant characters to take up the White Tiger mantle. After Hector's death, Angela inherited the magical Jade Tiger amulets that gave their bearers enhanced strength, agility, and healing, but they also come with a spiritual connection to the Tiger God, a mystical element that ties the White Tiger legacy to Kunlun, the same city that Iron Fist once trained in. Because of that connection, it's easy to see how Marvel could expand this storyline into something bigger, perhaps even reintroducing elements of Iron Fist or blending them with the new generation of street-level heroes. What makes this transition exciting is how well it fits into the tone of Daredevil Born Again. The show has always focused on morally complex characters, people who walk the line between hero and vigilante. So, introducing Angela as the next White Tiger feels natural. It gives Matt Murdock someone new to relate to, someone struggling to find balance between justice and vengeance. And since Season 2 seems to be shaping up as a story about alliances forming to take down Fisk, White Tiger could be a perfect addition to that fight. From what's been teased, Angela's story will likely pick up right after her uncle's death. She's mourning him, but she's also uncovering the truth about his double life. Whether she knew about his vigilante identity from the start or finds out later, what matters is that she's stepping into his shoes with purpose. Her version of White Tiger will probably have a very different energy, younger, more driven, and ready to prove herself. And with Daredevil at her side, she could easily become one of the key players in Marvel's growing lineup of urban heroes. But the real question fans are asking now is, what happens after Born Again? Because based on everything we've seen so far, it seems almost certain that White Tiger is being set up for a solo project, either a Disney Plus series or even a standalone film. Marvel has a pattern. They introduce new heroes in supporting roles and then expand on them once the audience connects. It's exactly what happened with Sam Wilson before The Falcon and the Winter Soldier and with Yelena Belova before Thunderbolts. White Tiger could easily follow the same path. Imagine a solo White Tiger series exploring Angela del Toro's journey after the events of Born Again. It could show her trying to navigate the legacy her uncle left behind while dealing with the mystical power of the Jade Tiger amulet. The show could mix street-level crime drama with supernatural elements, Think Daredevil meets Iron Fist, but with its own unique tone. Because Angela's story isn't just about fighting bad guys, it's also about wrestling with destiny and family. That kind of emotional storytelling fits perfectly with the MCU's new direction, which has been leaning toward more character-driven arcs. And since the MCU is clearly rebuilding its street-level heroes, with Daredevil, Echo, Punisher, and potentially Spider-Man operating on the same turf, White Tiger's solo project could easily connect to all of them. It could even lead into something like a new Defenders team-up. After all, fans have been begging for the return of Kristen Ritter's Jessica Jones and Jon Bernthal's Punisher. Adding White Tiger to that lineup would bring fresh energy and much-needed representation to the team. It also helps that Angela Del Toro's character naturally bridges the gap between grounded realism and mystical lore. She's not just another vigilante in a mask. Her powers come from ancient artifacts tied to Kunlun, giving Marvel a way to revisit the mythology that was introduced in Iron Fist, but this time with a new, more compelling lead. The idea of her solo project exploring the origins of the Jade Tiger amulets and how they connect to the Tiger God could add a fascinating spiritual layer to the MCU's Earth-based heroes. Another big reason Marvel might give White Tiger her own project is timing. With the MCU expanding its roster of younger heroes like Ms. Marvel, Kate Bishop, and America Chavez, Angela fits perfectly among them. She's strong, determined, and still learning what it means to be a hero. So it wouldn't be surprising if her solo story also positioned her as a future member of the Young Avengers or another team-up project down the line. It's also worth noting that the White Tiger mantle doesn't just belong to Angela in the comics. Her younger aunt, Ava Ayala, eventually becomes the next White Tiger after her. So, a solo project could even explore that dynamic. Maybe Angela starts her journey in the MCU and later passes the torch to Ava, keeping the family legacy alive. It's a storytelling cycle Marvel could easily continue for years, especially if audiences connect with the character. But before all that happens, Daredevil Born Again Season 2 will likely serve as Angela's big introduction. She'll get her first taste of what it means to be a superhero in a city controlled by corruption and fear. Her bond with Matt Murdock will probably grow as they fight side by side against Fisk's empire, and that's where audiences will really get to see her potential. Once that story wraps up, it's only natural for Marvel to spin her off into her own narrative, where she can explore her powers, her heritage, and the moral challenges that come with being the White Tiger. It's interesting because in the comics, the amulets that give her powers were created in Kunlun from the same mystical elements that power the Great Emerald Crystal, the same source that lets the city appear in other dimensions. So, if Marvel ever wants to connect Angela's story to the wider supernatural side of the MCU, like the upcoming Blade movie or the rumored Midnight Suns project, the groundwork is already there. Her powers link her to both the street-level world and the mystical realm, which makes her a unique bridge between two corners of the MCU that rarely overlap. Angela Del Toro's White Tiger stands out because she bridges two worlds. She's not a cosmic powerhouse or just another street-level fighter like Daredevil, but something in between, grounded, spiritual, and emotionally layered. A solo White Tiger project would honor Hector Ayala's legacy while giving Angela Del Toro her own spotlight, celebrating Latino representation and expanding the mythology of the Jade Tiger amulets. With Camila Rodriguez's breakout performance in Born Again, it feels less like rumor and more like destiny. The White Tiger's MCU journey is only just beginning. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.